meditations, Mush essentials. After watching this video, it'll be possible for you to have this type of touch intimacy in your life with people that normally you don't touch, including strangers, including maybe your family, including your friends. And we're going to break it down into a step-by-step process, explain the philosophy behind it, how it came about, and integrate a lot of theory related to movement, related to breath, related to nervous system regulation. It's going to be a several-hour video, and I encourage you to take it in live and experience it. Really do the things that we are doing. If you're by yourself, instead of rubbing someone else's shoulder, go ahead, rub your own shoulder. As we're breathing, breathe with us. As we're making sounds, make sounds with us. If you're in a place where your mushy behavior is drawing unwanted attention from strangers, you can either be brave and just keep going, or go somewhere else where you feel more comfortable. And it is always most important that you feel comfortable and happy. So do the things that feel good for you in the moment. And if something is really pushing you out of that comfort zone, breathe into it. Regulate your nervous system. We're going to take many more breaths. Please join us. As you're breathing, open your mouth and let sound go. With your tongue. Massage your jaw and your ears. You can really give yourself the tender, loving care that you would give to a lover if there was one in the room with you. And keep breathing and keep making sound. And if you are watching this video with other humans, this is also a moment where you're welcome to reach out to someone else and initiate touch and sense in their response. Like, I'm resting my thumb here on Clara's jaw. She is gonna show me with her own movement how she likes to be touched. And I'm going to respond to it. And don't add too much of my own jazz, but really listen to what she's doing and try to pet the cat the way the cat wants to be pet. And cats really will show you. They move their body. They're dynamically in action, in communication, making sounds. I love that. And humans also have that capability. We can do that, even though we've been socially conditioned probably not to. This video is your permission slip, all of you who are in the room, to just ignore whatever social assumptions and social contracts that you think might be in place and make a new one with your friends who are present right now. Meow. Yeah. Meow. Let's take another breath. Yeah, we'll do two more. One of our traditions, a sort of love ritual that we do in the Mush, is we speak each other's names repetitively, which is not a normal thing in culture. Usually you might say it once per conversation, if that. And we've learned that to hear one's name spoken lovingly or sung to you by your friends or by strangers who can become friends, it feels really good. Brain produces tons of dopamine. It requires focused attention. We can start to sing and chant and make harmonies and just merge into a unified consciousness of love. So if you happen to be with other beings, I encourage you to stand together, find some comfortable position, And one at a time, sing a person's name to them and just be present with how they're responding. And of course, you can say your own name too when it's your turn. So we're going to model it. You can join us. Feel free to sing your own names. If you're by yourself, touch yourself. Really, imagine that your right hand doesn't belong to the left side of your body, and just have a relationship between your right hand and your left side that's really transmitting the energy of care. As you open your mouth and sing or hum or blah, or ja, or zoobity boppity boo. Whatever noises authentically wish to come out of your body, go ahead and just do it. Scoobity bobbity boo. Gibberish is really helpful, really calms the mind. When you're thinking thoughts and you want to stop, just go scoobity bobbity zibbity boobity boop. Use your facial muscles to do different things you normally don't do. If you're with other people, it's really fun to copy each other, because when they make their silly, weird faces, they're going to be different than yours. And then you get to try to copy theirs, and they'll try to copy yours. And it's very activating and playful, and then alternating this with calming back down, with breathing really, really slowly, with creating nourishing vibrations for others and for yourself. Let's create a little bit more space. Stay with me though. Come over here, Clara. Come on my right side.
I need to sit down and I'm very short today.
Yeah. So I invite everyone to be in whatever position is going to be most comfortable for you. And if you're in a group setting, whoever makes the first movement is sort of taking leadership by demonstrating self-care. So Clara's just said, I need to sit down soon. I want to follow you. Go ahead. As you sit, we'll follow you, really.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you go, oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, great, here we are. So we're going to share some philosophy about relating and some practical tips, how to have your needs met, how to support others to have their needs met, how to keep awareness of one's own capacity and ability to provide care, and knowing when you need to receive care, and how to communicate about this in a way where the care really is flowing from where there is excess to where there's need. The same way that heat flows from where it's hot to where it's cold. We wish for care to function in that same way. And those of you who have studied the laws of thermodynamics will understand that heat does not flow from where it's cold to where it's hot. And it would be best if care did not flow from the person who needs care to others who have plenty of care. The only way to navigate this is through authentic communication and vulnerability, and really listening and sensing each other, and being willing to take a risk, to dare to ask for what you want, even though if the person says no, it might hurt. And awareness of that possible outcome, that vibration of fear, it will create that outcome, actually, that if I don't ask for help because I'm afraid that the person will say no, then the person has already said no because I didn't ask. And so now I'm not receiving the care, which is exactly what I was afraid of, and now it's happening. So please, don't allow your fears to stop you from taking courageous action. And it's always okay to tell a person, ooh, I want to communicate something to you and I feel fear. And you don't need to speak about the fear in details. The best way to address it would be to co-regulate your nervous system together such that the fear, as it exists somatically in your body as a sensation or a tension, can dissipate. And then you can speak about it from a place of perspective. Say, oh, a few minutes ago, all that fear, I was thinking that you might do this or do that, but that's not true, right? And the other person can say, of course it's not true. I'm so glad that you check in with me about this, because most of the things that we're afraid of are not true. And if you check with other people, they'll tell you, well, that's not true at all. Our brains are really, really good at guessing about what other people are thinking or what they're experiencing, but our brains are not good at guessing accurately what other people are thinking and experiencing. Even if it seems that way, it's so, so wise to do more checking in. So if you're in the room with some other people watching this video right now, if you are not touching each other and massaging each other the way we are, I invite you to momentarily pause the video and then have some verbal or nonverbal interaction. If you just hold your hand out, the other person might take your hand in their hand and guide it to some place on their body. And now I know that Neil's very comfortable with a hand on his heart, but this position for my shoulder is not super comfortable. So I'm gonna shift and invite him to come a little closer. I'm literally I'm like seaweed drawing him in. Great, and now I can put my hand on his heart comfortably and still be in connection with Clara. It's really not necessary to use words if both people are attuning their full focused attention to the point of contact. If both people are really there, it's unlikely that words will come up in the mind anyway. And if you are also intending to listen for invitations from your cuddle partners or your dance partners, however you want to conceptualize them, if I'm ready for Clara to indicate to me that she wants me in a different position, then the moment that she starts to indicate that, I will flow. And so I actually invite you right now, Clara, to suggest, oh, she's leaning that way? Oh, great, okay, yeah, I'm ready to go there. That works for me. Oh, okay, cool. Here we are, great. Okay, awesome. Oh, and thank goodness for this gimbal. It can still see all of us. Good job, Osmo. You're great. We love you.
We love you.
Yeah, big heart. Oh. She was confused by your heart. That's so cute. Okay, yeah, and we're back. Let's all of us, including you at home, take 3 really slow, really deep breaths together. And in fact, we're going to hold our breath just a little bit. So inhale, and then hold your breath. Open your mouth and go. Yeah, shaking is always nice too. Yeah, another big breath. Really fill your lungs up all the way. More, more, more. Hold your breath. Take in more. A little bit more. Open your mouth, stick out your tongue, and go. Yeah, let's do it again. And as always, hold your breath while you're holding. Touch yourself, massage yourself. Find some way to stretch your neck or roll your eyes or open your mouth and then go. Excellent. So, while you are watching the rest of this video, there's going to be moments where I ask you to do specific exercises, but the rest of the time I invite you to be all the time doing this. Be moving, breathing, stretching, massaging yourself or your friends. And remember, when you're touching the other people, that there's this opportunity for mutuality, for both people to be touching each other. Right now, I feel like Neil's head is touching my thumb just as much as my thumb is touching his head. And it's also therapeutically beneficial to me. I'm touching him with this part of my thumb, like on the back of my hand. There's musculature there that needs release. And thank you, Neil. Neil's doing it. So we are in this process of moving together. It's kind of a dance all the time, at least it's how I conceptualize it, that there's a fluidity, sensing, presence. It's got nothing to do with music, although I sense that there's a natural music in Clara's and Neil's body and their movements. And we are, even when we're not jawing together, we're still kind of a musical trio that's composing something that's coherent together. And if Clara's movements start to manipulate my body in a way that Neil can sense, Clara's kind of dancing directly with Neil through me. That's really interesting. And please do remember that if you're in the middle and the people on both sides of you are both trying to move you at different speeds, you might ask them to slow down and harmonize to each other so that you can have what feels like a more coherent and attuned and fluid experience of being touched by two beings, because those two beings are attuned with each other already. And as the group gets larger, of course, the opportunities for incoherence and dysregulation become much higher. And so as the group size increases, you may need one of you to do what maybe a facilitator would do, but you can think of yourself as the facilitator of your entire life. Congratulations. You can just say, hey, let's attune to each other, let's slow down, let's co-regulate. Any of these invitations should result in the group pausing what they're doing and trying to sense all the other people, breathing a bit together, and then starting something slowly together that feels really collective. And at its core, that's what the mush is. Great idea, Clara. Let's take some breaths together. All of you at home, every time we pause to breathe, the invitation is always that you join us and always that you keep touching yourself. Now, I'm going to keep emphasizing it because I know that there's a lot of cultural resistance to this type of sound and movement practice. To be dynamic by default, to be in movement and sensing all the time requires a lot of awareness and attention and mental energy. And it's tough to do that while you're thinking about words, which is why while I'm talking, it's very likely that all of you have stopped moving. And when we shift back to just breathing, that's your moment to really get into a physical, somatic exploration where because there are not words, the left brain can relax a little bit, and your right brain, that is intuitive and has much better sensing capacity, can shine in that moment. So we're going to do 5 of those. Let's do it. Keep moving and breathing and sensing. One more, the biggest breath that you've ever taken in your whole life, and hold your breath at the top. More, 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 more. We're gonna hold for about 10 seconds. In the silence, keep moving, keep caring for yourself. Breathe in more and release. Yeah. Let's shake it out. Let's all get up and we're gonna do a silly upregulation. Now there's a real strategy to upregulation, and that is the sillier that you can be, the better. Yeah, cool, we've got face tracking on again. It's me, yeah, come on up here. Up here, buddy. Yeah. So, generally speaking, the nervous system has 3 kind of categories of states. And what we're gonna do now is very intentionally bring ourselves into what you might call your fight or flight response. So we're gonna shake, we're gonna move, we're gonna power up, we're gonna flex our muscles, we're gonna jump, maybe reach your hands over your head. Yeah, it's great. And make sound. Jibbity bop, zibbity boo, skibbity boppity zibbity bay. Don't make sounds that are words, make sounds that are wild and crazy and that you never made before. Facial expression. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Wherever you are, just move through the space, and as you go, you'll interact with the other beings and like see what they're doing and copy their movements. I can guarantee you that whatever movement they're doing is not identical to yours, and you can start to expand how you conceptualize your movement range. Cool. And that's probably enough. Pause for a moment and place a hand over your heart and one hand over your belly and sense the change in your breathing pattern and your heart rate. My heart, I feel it really thumping and feels good. I feel alive. I'm going to show you now some down regulation techniques that you can do when you're by yourself. So would the two of you come a little closer to me and maybe stand that's perfect right there. Cool. I'm kneel a little bit to the right. Yeah, excellent. So when you are by yourself and you need to change your nervous system state, what you can do is leave wherever you are to go to the bathroom. You can always go to the bathroom or any place. And then just a little shakeout to make sure that you haven't gone into a freeze response. It's very normal in social situations that you feel maybe that you're not free to fully express yourself. Somebody has said a thing that really bothers you, but it's not the right moment to let on about that. And so the mask has gone on and the body language has become still. Before we try to bring ourselves down into a regulated parasympathetic state, it's really helpful to just wake the whole system up a little bit. I really like to get my arms over my head. I like to bounce, and I feel like my whole body really waking up. And then a little bit of facial, really like squinching the eyes and how big or small I can make my mouth. Shaking the head, sometimes really vigorously, shaking the head. Cool. And then we switch to down regulation. Take your right hand, place it underneath your left armpit, your left hand on top of your right shoulder, and then try to really get your elbows as far across as you can. Pull down your shoulders and breathe deeply into your chest. You'll feel it pushing against your arms on the exhale. Breathe out. Cool. On the inhale, as you breathe, let the breath lift your chin up and your eyes up as far as it will go. On the exhale, open your mouth and let the chin come down, all the way down. possibly to touch your own collarbones. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Great. And now slowly making circles with your neck. And I begin the movement by turning and looking to the left over my shoulder as far as I can. And then I lift up and go all the way around until I'm looking over my right shoulder as far as I can. And then down to the center and reverse. Look to the right. Lift up all the way around. Keep breathing and making sounds. Yeah. When I look to the left, I'm actually tilting my head a little bit to the right. It's a look to the left, tilt to the right. And that then lets me bring it all the way up and around. Here I'm looking to the right, but I'm tilting a little bit to the left. And this allows a little bit more range of motion in the vertebra in my spine. By twisting and tilting a little bit in the lateral plane, it allows more movement in the frontal plane as well. It's really nice to combine these three ranges of movement, the three being tilting left and right, lifting up and down, and twisting left and right. So as you are massaging yourself, squeezing yourself, stretching yourself, your eye muscles as well can participate in this movement. As I look to the left, my eyes are really going to the left. I feel like I really stretch the musculature in my eyes, in my jaw, in my whole face. Cool. Now that that's done, let's do a little bit of shaking the head back and forth. You can still have your arms crossed if you want. You can always switch sides. I really like to shake still while my arms are crossed. You can go at any speed. You can go pretty slow like this. You can go really fast like this. I find this one to be a full reset for my brain while I'm shaking. Super hard to ruminate on thoughts that are unpleasant. It's a very pleasant experience. Cool, this is great, cool. And then pause there. And now we're gonna do 3 shoulder shrugs. As you inhale, lift your shoulders up. On the exhale, really throw them down. Yeah, another one. And one more. And then I really, again, I like this position with one hand on my heart and one on my belly. I find it very soothing. And then some down regulation. Breathing slowly, opening the mouth, maybe massaging your own jaw. Yeah. Now that whole process can be done in maybe 2 or 3 minutes in a bathroom. And I can promise you that it will really change the way that you feel. It's almost like sleeping it off. You know, if you ever have like a really bad mood and you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, if this person says that thing one more time, I'm just gonna lose it. That's the moment to get out of the room. And sleep it off by doing your like 3-minute reset in the bathroom, and then shift your mindset. Be like, I feel much better and calm right now. Maybe they also feel better and calm right now, and go back into the interaction with a hopeful optimism that the thing that you've shifted in the field was enough to shift the whole interaction, even if the other person didn't change at all. Like maybe they didn't change at all, but you changed enough that the whole thing changed. And that's the personal empowerment of the Mush and the dynamic relating system. And really, you are creating your reality. And if right now you're standing by yourself and you realize you'd rather be cuddling your friends, feel free to just do that. Yeah. And remember that if somebody in the room moves, changes their physical position, and you notice it, that it would be wise for you to also move your body. These two did. I backed up. They both came right towards me. And this feels to me totally mutual, consensual. I don't have to wonder if they're really into it, which is very different than if, I'll do it again. Will you guys stand where you were before? Which is very different than if I'm here and I'm like, I really feel like cuddling Clara. I'm just gonna go move towards her, and now Now we're together, but she didn't move at all, and actually it does feel super awkward to me. I'm sorry for doing that. You want to shake it off? It's weird. It's really weird when a person like closes the entire distance and touches and approaches with both hands. It's very like, it's just too much, right? And if I move towards Clara, and Clara is really giving me a no through her non-response, like being frozen is a no. If I move towards her and I get this far, that's already enough. That's far enough. Whereas if she's a yes, when I turn to look at her, she's already giving me signals that the approach is welcome, the eye contact, the smile, and if I take one step and she takes one step, oh my gosh. Now this feels to me like 100% good. And with Neil, because we're already touching each other, I can kind of twinkle him. I invite him to come with my body language. He closes the distance, and it's possible for him to close that distance because we invited it, obviously. So check when you're making invitations, if you are really sensing for the response or if you're just doing the thing. Just one moment. I'm noticing that Osmo is, he's trying to track more than one person at a time. So I'm just going to turn off tracking for a moment. Thanks for being with us during our technological challenges. Now, because I'm not going to edit any of this. Y'all get to see this part too now. So here we are. Oh, cool. And I can just adjust the frame a tiny bit. Oh, that's much better. Okay, so remember, distance is a concept that really matters. It's a huge part of navigating consent non-verbally. People can change their distance. I'll show you from the side. I can change my distance from Clara by just like leaning back and leaning forward. And people will do this, but it's really subtle. The reason it is so subtle is because most people, and I'm gonna back up, give them a full view of my body. So the way I'm standing most of the time, I'm like on my toes. I'm ready to like rumba salsa something. Like, so when I'm even cuddling, I'm here. I can shift my body weight to my left leg or more to my right leg. It's a very dynamic stance. And so if either of these two takes a little step towards me, it's super easy for me to shift forward or back. It's really comfortable for me to be like, yes, I want that, or no, I don't want that. And you can also include a little bit of a twist, because if Clara's coming towards my left shoulder, and I were to like just lean to my right side and pull my left shoulder back, that's a super obvious no. Whereas if I'm here, and she moves towards my left shoulder, and I just lean the shoulder in a little bit, it's a super obvious yes. So I don't have to move my feet at all. But because I'm in this dynamic stance, if she comes towards my left shoulder, I'm gonna slide over and really like present to her the part of my body where I want her. I chose this one, but I equally could have chosen, will you do it again? Do a slow approach. If she's moving towards my left shoulder and I see that, I can also step in and I can offer her my right side. I don't know why I might want to do that. Maybe I just got like really thoroughly cuddled on my left side and it's warm and it feels soft, and the right side is, oh, I'm all contracted and cold and I want care. Then as she comes to me, even if she comes in and she gets to here, it's so easy for me to just slightly disengage and turn my body. And she understood that there was some sort of thing that she could do. And now we've made it to here. And for me, it's easier to do that rather than to say, hey, would it be okay with you to stand on my other side? Because I have this like cold contracted thing. No. Too much information. They don't need to know why. All they need to know is what you want right now and how they can please you, because most people authentically would like the others in the room to feel pleasure and to feel safe and comfortable and happy. So you can support them in that by just really responding intentionally to invitations, not by just saying yes, but by saying yes, and how about a little bit differently, actually? How about more like this? Yeah, I think, yeah. Yes, and. Oh, yeah, oh, that's great. Cool. Remember that when you have a moment of connection that feels really new and interesting, the best thing to do is just breathe together. You keep making soft, gentle sounds. Remember that but these sounds are for the benefit of everyone in the room, including you, to calm down even more. Okay, so just a quick review what we've already covered. Your nervous system state really matters. So if you're feeling dysregulated, do something about it. The other people in the room would prefer that you feel comfortable, safe, and happy. Now, sometimes people think that when the mind is racing and there's like ideas and thoughts and problems to solve, that the easiest way to solve it is by talking about it and receiving advice or care from other people. And I'd like to offer an alternative strategy that is, when the mind is racing, full of stories and problems and all of this, recognize that it doesn't matter where it started. Maybe the nervous system was activated just in empathetic resonance to somebody else's nervous system state. Maybe you were feeling fine, then you walked into a room and everyone in that room is showing signs of being fearful or triggered or compressed or shut down. And so suddenly your body also might resonate with that. And now come the stories. Don't believe the stories. They're not true. You can laugh at the stories. Be like, oh, my brain is just so good at spinning up stories. I should write Hollywood movies. I'm so good at this. And instead of taking them seriously, you have an opportunity to just regulate them away. Usually a little bit of upregulation first, then some downregulation. If you're starting with downregulation and it's not working very effectively, then you gotta get up and shake a little bit, because really once you've practiced this enough, 3 breaths usually is enough to bring you from a like, I could kill somebody, to a, oh, I feel pretty good now. Really, it can happen that quickly. Let's celebrate that. You're in control. You don't have to be mad or upset or angry all the time. You can change just through physical practices and breathing practices and silly practices, especially the silly part, is really, really helpful. To just be like, get in a mirror and do it with yourself. If you don't have a friend, yeah, have fun. Okay. Cool. So we are going to mush, like hopefully you're also already kind of mushing. And by the way, even though we're not touching each other right now, I still think of it as mushing because we're sensing each other, and at any moment I'm really welcome to invite contact, and we're sensing and playing with distance together and being playful. It's not just about cuddling. Can you turn even more? This way. Yeah. So sometimes it's really helpful to verbally calibrate. Clara offered me her hand. I gave her a little like twist, like I was trying to like open the bottle cap. And sometimes a person will take that and they'll really do a turn. And this is exactly the position I wanted Clara in. Because it's comfortable for me, but also because I can access her shoulder here and start to do some actual release work. The fascia in your body, fascia is the stuff that wraps around all of your muscles and organs. Fascia is really sticky, it's also really stretchy, and it regenerates really quickly. And it's innervated, meaning there are nerves in the fascia, actually more than in your muscles, which means when you tear a muscle and it really hurts, what you're mostly feeling is the torn fascia. So when you are in the mush or at any touch positive space, like a contact improvisation jam or a dynamic dance event or whatever it is that you're doing, if you can sense that there's a mutuality in the connection, it's possible to do dynamic release work where I'm giving her just like a firm hand here and she's massaging herself, and I can feel the quality of her muscles underneath my fingers, and I'm just following what feel like the lines of muscle and trying to wiggle in between the layers of the muscles, kind of like the way like a terrier, a little dog, burrows under a blanket, right? It just takes its nose and it tries to get in there. And sometimes my fingers, they kind of do, I'm like, can I get in here? Wiggle, 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 squiggle, wiggle, diggle. And if, in this moment, if your arm, Clara, reaches up here, this is the movement of Clara's arm that stretches, that, and now it's ticklish, right? So take your left hand, Clara, put it on top of my hand. Yeah. So right now, Clara, you're touching yourself, and it's really, you can't tickle yourself. So keep touching yourself. This is a really helpful trick if you're trying to release fascia that's ticklish. Their hand on your hand basically solves the problem. Meow, meow. Yeah. That's a really, really great trick that it took me many, many years to figure out. So I hope you all use it. Use it immediately. And never, please don't non-consensually tickle people. This is a normal thing in America. I was tickled without my consent as a child a lot. It's really not compatible with the Mush values, but it is compatible if you ask a person, do you like to be tickled? And they say yes, and then you tickle them. And they're having fun with it rather than trying to escape it.
Being tickled.
Not right now, thank you. And this is also a really nice way to say no to something. Instead of saying no, can say, hey, maybe later. I think I'd like you, will you please invite that again later? Because if you say no to something, if he said, do you like to be tickled? And I said no, or even not right now, he's not super likely to ask again. But if I say, ooh, later, I would like that, he's super likely to try again later. So if somebody is ever offering you something that hypothetically is an offer that you'd like to receive again later, use that extra special word, later. It communicates that the possibility exists and that the invitation was well received. Also, thank you for the invitation, and please ask me again later. Yeah. Cool. So this release work, releasing the fascia, it's actually really, really helpful if you can understand that muscles are like bundled. Like all of my fingers here represent these like spindles kind of, that like you could think of this as one muscle and it has a direction, it's flowing towards you. And if I wanted to release, I would be trying to pull across at a 90-degree angle from the direction that the muscle fibers are flowing. So when I'm here and I'm touching Clara's deltoid, this muscle in the front of her shoulder, the anterior deltoid, the direction that the muscle runs is this way. And so the direction that I release it is upwards. I always want to hook around it and pull rather than trying to push. It's very difficult to, well, think of when you have a sticker and you're going to try to peel the back off the sticker. It really requires a hook that you kind of get the edge and then you can pull. Same with Velcro. You know, Velcro, it's stuck. You can't just pull it apart. You have to peel it.
Plucking the strings of guitar.
Yeah, pluck the guitar. Excellent metaphor. I love thinking of the human body as an instrument. And what can happen is maybe you left your guitar out when there was like a toddler play date and some little kids who were playing with glue sticks like glued all of your strings together onto the fretboard, and now the guitar doesn't work very well. And this is a pretty functional metaphor for what happens to our bodies over time when we don't move in our full range of motion. But we do have chronic inflammation because of unhealthy diet, and so the regenerating process is happening with lots of histamine response, and so you generate extra fascia that you don't need, and then it limits range of motion, and eventually these layers of fascia can become so thick and so connected that when you touch it, it feels like three muscles are one structure together, and there's no sensation of separation. But if you study anatomy, and you can, because you can download an app on your phone, it lets you like peel away the layers and like really look at everything, then you can really investigate your own body and be like, oh, okay, my biceps has two heads and there should be a gap in the center. And if you don't feel that gap in the center, then you can play with trying to get your little terrier nose into that gap. And it's really hard to release a muscle while it's being held under tension. So if I'm gonna demonstrate something on my left bicep, I want my arm to be relaxed so that the muscle tissue is more relaxed. Yeah, great idea. You guys can swoop around to the other side. I love this dynamic thing that's going on here. There's two heads of the bicep. If I'm doing the one on the medial side, I'll use my fingers to hook in the center and pull towards my body. If I'm trying to release the lateral one, I'll change my arm position, and this is a huge internal rotation of the humerus so that I can kind of totally change the orientation of my hand. Then I have my thumb that I can place in here, and again, I can pull. The pulling is happening by lifting, elevating my shoulder, which requires an elevation of the scapula, right? So all of these principles that I'm sharing with you, please explore in your own body, releasing your own muscles and figuring out, mapping the anatomy, become very competent at touching your own body, and then meet up with one of your friends who's also become very competent at touching their own body, and you can touch each other's bodies. But remember, it's not one person touching the other one, it's the two bodies touching each other, which is also the case when I'm releasing my own fascia. It's a dynamic process. I penetrate, and then this receiving arm is doing something so that actually my right arm, it's not doing a whole lot, it's just holding still. The receiving arm is doing more movement. The giving arm is just stable, strong, and integrated in the body. Let's shake that off. That's a lot of knowledge. It's a lot of knowledge. You don't have to do it right. Just want to make that clear. It's really better that you just start figuring it out. Don't worry about doing it right. As long as you don't push through really strong pain signals from your own body, you're very unlikely to injure yourself by like working with your hands on your own body. Go slowly, really think about peeling and pulling and finding, burrowing in between the layers. Think about touching a place and mobilizing the part that's receiving it. And in this way is much safer than if you're just, digging your thumb or your elbow into somebody who's totally relaxed. You won't get feedback and you really could bruise or injure their muscles. Yeah, please don't bruise and injure people's muscles or yours. Okay. Yeah, let's pause. Part 1 complete. Meow.